Hello, everybody. It's Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and I want to grab a piece of paper. I'm going to write names down as folks come in and say hello. We're going to do some watercolor flowers today, and think about making them the size you would like to use on an artist trading card. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and play with my new watercolor set here, Arteco 50 colors watercolor paint set, and I got it off Amazon. And again, I forgot to, there's Teresa. Hello, Teresa Church. Mama Juju. And yeah, we're going to do these up. I'm doing, you can kind of see I've made little circles with water. You see the little kind of wettish spots here and there. I did that on purpose. Hi, it's Marie, Junk and Data Girl. I know your name. It's right there. Starts with an M. But yeah, we're going to paint these, and then we're going to look through my book, Mariska. Yes, I thought so. Maricha. Can't, probably not pronouncing it correctly. I'm so sorry. And then we'll look at my artist trading cards, and I'm actually going to pull out my biggest binder and share those. And I had done the big binder because I got tired of accidentally showing people's private information. So I have artist trading cards back to back. So if I need to share anything, like who made something, you have to just ask me if you want to know who made it or whatever. And I'll be extra careful not to show information. But mostly I just want to flip through it and to give you ideas. And I want to do these lollipop flowers with these watercolors, and they can be drying while we look through the artist trading card binder. It's about a 3-inch binder, and it's the baseball card pages with double the ATCs. So instead of 9, each one has 18 ATCs in it. Carol, I saw the pictures of the big buildings. They are very, very tall. All right. So now I had said I was going to send some of the birds out. And you know what? I messed that up. Let me do this. So the first 6 people in here will get an envelope. And I showed my address. And inside here, there is already a handmade card and the bird stickers. I put the birds on sticker paper, and I've roughly cut them out. And there's Shannon. You're at your neurologist. Okay. I hope they can get you some answers and help you. So I don't know if I have your address anymore, Maricha. I'll have to send you a message on Facebook if that's okay. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I did 6 envelopes up. So you'll get a handmade card, and you'll get a sheet of the birds. So this is how I got them on there. And this one accidentally printed on paper instead of sticker paper. So a sheet is one of these. So you'll get all of these birds on one sheet. So that'll just give you something to use in your journals or play with. So let's just play with these watercolors. And I have already wet the paper, and I'm hoping I can tell where. So let's do a purple one. And I'm just going to pick up a little bit here. And then maybe pick a lighter one up and just drop it in the middle. And then we'll just drop this one. And they don't have to be perfect. There you go. That's more of what I want to get out of it. And I want to do different colors. So I'm just going to do a circle. And it's wonderful to see some of the old crew pop back in and around from back in the day when I first got on here. Let's put a little bit of this around the edge here. And they don't have to be perfect circles either. This will probably come out green. Nope, it came out a skin tone. That's interesting. Let's put some of this wild color in here. And then maybe pick up some of this. Ooh, that's really intense. Drop it in the middle. And I am making them small because I want them to be able to fit on an artist trading card. So I'm going to do a circle there, maybe do this big circle here, and re-wet it a little bit. Then we'll pick up a pink. Just drop it in the middle. There we go. We got a nice bloom on that one. Let's drop some of this brighter pink in this yellow here. I didn't think about it, but I should have done some leaves too, but that's okay. I'm trying to see where the little circles are that I made earlier, where the paper's already kind of primed with water. Drop some of this purple in the middle. That one, and maybe do this one. There's a pan in the dishwasher just gently rocking back and forth in there. Let's see. Hi, Cindy Taylor. Aw. Sorry it's been such a rough time for you, Carol. And I know Shannon's having some issues too. That's where she's gone to see her doctor specialist. May they all find some answers and get some rest. And it doesn't sound like Anne's sleeping too good either, does it? Let's see. I want to keep it just real colorful. This is kind of a peachy color. Probably won't show up inside that one, but you never know. And I feel like I've missed a circle here. I just made a bunch of circles on here while I was watching Anne. And I said, well, they'll either totally dry up and I'll have to re-wet them, or it'll be perfect. And I'm thinking more of the really colorful lollipops we used to get as kids. And we were in line at Ollie's, Good Stuff Cheap last night. And I told Scott, I got to thinking about it because the way they have their registers set up, it's like you have to go through all of the candy to check out. It's like they're going to force the candy on you. And I got to thinking about the candy from our childhood. And I said, do you remember those charm lollipops? You know, the ones that were like a half an inch thick and they were about like that wide, and they were not like circles. They were more like a U like that. Or, I mean, they were just an odd shape, but they were really thick. You could lick on that lollipop all day long and it would never dry up. It's getting where I can't see where I wet them earlier. I should quit talking and try to get these filled up with some color. So I'll re-wet that. Put some of this on there. And I really can't see where I wet it before. And I'm thinking some Duke's pad thai will be what we have for dinner tonight, because I don't know what time Scott's going to get here. He's going to, because on his birthday in June, he's got to, his license needs to be renewed. So he says he just felt like he should go ahead and do it before that, so that he has the real ID, where you have to have the real ID to go anywhere pretty much anymore. And now my license has a heart and a star on it. So I have a real ID and I'm an organ donor. Because I told Scott, I said, if I am totally brain dead, please don't keep me hooked on a machine. Please don't do that. So I wanted to make sure I had all of that too. So I did mine, was it last year? And us ladies, when you go to get it, you got to have, if you've been married and divorced, you got to take those papers, and you got to take your current, if you're currently married, you have to take those papers to prove that you were married and divorced and then remarried. And yeah. Hi, Lala. I hope your headache's gone from the other day. Ooh, that's one intense, kind of limey green, isn't it? So yes, these are getting kind of small. We might want to go back to making some big ones. And I can't see where my circles are anymore, so I like how this is making this paper towel look too. Cole, honey, you can go out on the porch. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Cole's like, I don't know. Those other cats might beat me up. Even though Cole also came from Greenville, he's been down here with Piper so long, and Piper's told him that they're not to be trusted. Well, they never liked each other anyway. So, and I could mix some colors. Let's put another little flower here. So let's see. No, but you're resting. I'm sorry. Like I was saying the other day, I used to get those migraines when I was doing management. And that just told me right then and there, I had no business doing management, even if I was good at it. Nothing in life is worth all that stress. Wow, that's some green. Let's get some of these reds over here. Let's do a little one here. That's more of a bricky color. Some rich colors. I was just watching these guys stop in traffic on a reel for this huge, I don't know if it was a python or what, but they were excited to stop traffic for it. And I'm like, around here, that snake wouldn't stand a chance. It would have been flattened, completely flat. Oh, well, I always feel like I'm have an abrasive voice, so I'm glad to hear that. But I think Janet soothes everybody's hearts and souls. I really enjoy Monday mornings with Janet Nash. She's been putting up some wonderful freestanding videos too, you guys. So if you haven't watched those, you can go catch up with Janet. I know. What's the matter, Coleman? I'm going to put some tiny ones here and there. Because what I'm envisioning is taking this sheet and I'll scan it and print on sticker paper, and then I can just cut these out and use them on artist trading cards and make like a little very colorful artist trading cards to swap. And I keep going for the really pinky colors. Let's see, what else do we have over here? I think this is bright red. Hi, Kathy. Kathy's been sharing pictures and videos of her garden coming to life, and I'm really enjoying those. And I especially like your Little Shop of Horrors plant, that great big plant. I told Scott, I said, Kathy has this plant. I can't remember the name of it, but it always makes me think of the Little Shop of Horrors, that great big plant that could talk. So we're getting a nice group of folks here today. Welcome, welcome, everybody. I still haven't left the house because I wanted to give those stickers away. And those that I have addresses for, I will address them as soon as I get off here and take them and drop them in the mail. I've got to go get gas in the truck too. I got in it the other day, yesterday, just to go down to the grocery store, and the stupid thing went bing, bing, bing. Because I guess Scott drove it around some. Yes, the Gunny. Its name is Gunny. How fitting. It gets quite large, does it not? Oh my goodness. Language, children. Callie. Just let Cole wander around. These cats are very much like having little kids fighting in the background right as you're going live. I keep telling Ann she should get another cat or two. And she says, no. She knows she doesn't want any more, Cole. There for a while, we were saying, no, we're not going to get another cat. That was after our two orange boys and our other wild cat we'd adopted from the shelter. They passed on, and we were like, no, we're going to take a break. We want to be able to travel. And then we moved to Greenville, and we adopted a whole litter of cats. The litter originally had 4 kittens in it, but one day she showed up and she didn't have all four with her anymore. So I don't know if a hawk or an owl or a fox or a coyote or something got. Yes, cats are expensive. I agree. Pets are expensive anymore, period. You're going to come up here? Whoa. Speaking of cats, Callie's in the house. This one is really too wet right here, so we'll just take a tissue and suck up a little bit of that color, and then we'll drop some pink in the middle of it. Boop. But yeah, I just wanted these to be like small little guys here. And we'll wet an area here, maybe one right there. And we'll just drop some color on them. Oh my goodness. No. Oh, that's some bad language. Oh my gosh. Really, you guys? Don't make me get in the middle of it. Howard's like, I don't want to fight him. He's being a jerk. Howard's like, it wasn't me, Mom. It wasn't. It's just Cole being Cole. I still haven't brought Bernie in to feed her. Now, Friday morning, you guys that are in the chats on Thursday and Friday, Friday, I will not be available to open the room, but I know Ann usually opens it on Fridays. I just want to let you guys know I won't be there because at least probably for about an hour, maybe two, I have to have Bernadette at the groomers at 8 o'clock in the morning. I did that on purpose because it's Friday and nobody wants to be out during the day in the afternoon on Friday. I'm sorry, I don't. So I said, well, yeah, I'll take that 8 a.m. She actually had a 7 a.m. But I was like, I don't know that I want to get up and going that early. Plus, there won't be anything open. And I just stay out there because the groomer that we go, I take her to PetSmart out in Lexington, which is about a 40-minute drive from here. And I don't see any point driving her all the way out there and then coming all the way back here and then have to drive all the way back there and then come back. That's a lot of gas, a lot of time. And I just find things to do out there. So that's why I won't be here because I'll be sitting out there. And I'm probably going to take some knitting or crochet or something, just something to work on while I'm waiting. All right. So now I'm just going to go back through here and drop some different colors on top of the stuff that's kind of drying a little bit here. And we'll see if we can get some. I just really like that color apparently because I just keep reaching in it. Cole's determined to get his fanny beat because Howard will take it, and then all of a sudden he'll just blitzkrieg Cole, and it's like, yep, I told you that was going to happen. Yesterday, I went out in the back. The people right straight behind us, they put up this brand new, beautiful fence. But we have chain link fence because of the dog. And then they have their wooden fence just on the other side of that. Well, there's trees and all that blooming wisteria that I would never plant if my life depended on it, because that stuff is a just blipping nightmare. It's going all in between those two fences. You can't control it. It sends out these shoots underground, and it will absolutely give it 5 years and it would just completely cover a house that never planted it in their yard. It just came over from the side and it grows that fast. So I was trying to get these trees that have come up, trying to get them cut back between the fences. And I've just almost come to the conclusion that we might have to, when Bernadette passes on, just take the chain link fence down. Most of the neighbors have wooden fences up already. And if we just take that chain link up across the back and up the, well, we can't go up the side because that could be their fence. Although they never use their backyard for their dog. They just let their dog come in my yard and crap. And that's another, yeah. They're not good neighbors. Oh, I like going around it. Getting out of shot here. That was kind of cool. Oh, there's Heather. Hi, Heather. And let's see. Shannon had to go. That's right. It is Shannon's birthday on Friday, right? Oh my goodness. And see, I'm going to use these like Barbara Owen does the rough mandalas. And I'll come back and doodle on top of these. When they're dry. And I will probably keep my doodles to the inside of the flower, but then once they're adhered to the ATC, you could expand your doodles past the edge if you wanted to. So this is just to gather some ideas for artist trading cards. I saw Beth was sharing some, and we used to do the Dirty Dozen prompt games and pick 10s and that, and we would do a big sheet and then turn them into artist trading cards to swap. And that's what the binder is that I'm going to show you guys here in just a second. But I'd like to add some more colors to some of these. So now I'm starting to think about Duke's Pad Thai. What do I want to get this time? Last time I got spring rolls because they do beautiful, wonderfully delicious spring rolls. And I like the hot sauce they give you to dip them in. I'm trying to give myself different things to doodle with. To make the flowers extra fun. Masa Man Curry. I know they do curry bowls. I don't think I have a menu here at the house. These might be okay to go ahead and just let them be as they are. And then the doodles could make up the rest. So this is a spare watercolor brush. I haven't used the one that's in the kit yet. But I'm going to set these to the side to dry. All right, so we're going to set that aside. We got this cool piece of paper toweling. I just want to make room for my big binder to come up here. And I'll share artist trading cards so you guys can get some ideas. Let's see, where can I put that? Up there. And then we'll bring hopefully by the time we get done looking at these, we will be at a point where those are dry enough that I can doodle on them. Now, this isn't just artist trading cards because I needed room to put other things. And I don't know that, let's see, let me see if I haven't brought the camera in close, then I need to raise my camera. So bear with me just a minute. Hi, Janice. Let's see if I can keep from knocking that over. So let's get it up here in the air. This poor tripod has been flung off this table so many times because I have a cat in a basket on the table too. You're not going to be able to see everything. And I could see better if I'd closed this window. There we go. All right. So on this page, I thought this was cool and that I would share it. This was made by Danny Coleman in 2019. And it says, one cat just leads to another. Ernest Hemingway. And look, they come out and they're on popsicle sticks. Isn't that cute? And she's made like little places for the popsicle sticks to slide down in. There's like a little loop for each stick. So one cat just leads to another. That was by Danny Coleman. And then this was made by Barb Fillion. It says, beautiful things come together one stitch at a time. And then that was in 2019. And then this is sticking together now. And somebody made the bookmark. I don't know if it was one of these gals or somebody else. It didn't get signed. So I have no clue. But I have these in here with this homemade paper clip. And I do that so they won't fall out. All right. And you'll see things here because in here is also, what were they called? Pocket pages where you fill the whole thing up. So there's all kinds of cards in here. Some I made. I remember this one. So I know I made that one. And I think I made this one. But then there's others from other folks. Like somebody put a spring on there. So it says, hello, spring. I don't know who did that. I would have to pull these all out. So we might just look at them and not worry about who made what. But there are 9 on each side. And I've put them on both sides. And so this one looked like we were into fall and Christmas. And this one's another one that's got some stuff that looks autumnal, but then also butterflies. They're just fun to look at and get ideas. That's a cool background. That almost screams Peg Robinson. I have to know. Let's see if it's Peg. No, it's Dawn. Dawn did that. These were done when Mary was doing the doodles. Remember we all were copying Mary's doodles? I'm sure that's Mary's right there because she likes to use the Tim Holtz little guys. Oh, and I made this little tag here. And then I got to thinking how cute it would be to do a tiny tag swap that's about the same dimensions as artist trading cards, but make them little tags like this. So make a tag that's 2.5 by 3.5, and then you could just cut the top 2 corners off with either a quarter rounder or one of the decorative corner things and just make some different tags. And as long as we kept them to 2.5 by 3.5, they could be held together with a book ring, like we did the boho tag swap that were big tags. We could do a smaller version of that, and I think that would be a fun swap too. I can kind of look at this and know which ones I've made, but I can't guarantee it. I'm pretty sure that's one I did. But I just wanted to look back through these. There we go. Stuck in there. Now these I know I made because these were part of a Dirty Dozen we did together, and it got real heavy. We had a lot of stuff going on, but it made some pretty artist trading cards. And on that one, I just added some different papers that I had run through an embosser and then put some embossing powder on them. And then I just punched them out with hand punches. And you could even make heart-shaped flowers with your things like that. Punched papers and embossed papers. You don't have to use embossed papers just as they are. I mean, you can decorate them up. But these are so pretty. And that's somebody drew. That's been drawn on there. That's beautiful. So we'll just look through here and reminisce. I'm not going to try to pull them out. It's too hard. This with leaving the threads, I think that's Journey. That was an artist trading coin that we did, swap. But that was a small coin there. That was just a punch circle. I don't think that's actually a actual 2.5-inch circle. Well, that's good news. That's good news. It doesn't look like you have that much of a difference. So your glasses probably won't be really strong to get used to. I noticed Jerry Bellini was saying something about her glasses. She got the wrong size. And usually whenever I've ordered glasses, the Opta, what is it called? The one that does the glasses. They'll tell you if the glasses are too big for your face. They're supposed to tell you that. That's their job. And apparently the girl didn't say anything, and Jerry got some glasses that were too big, and it put her transition in the wrong place. To me, she should go back and get a free pair of glasses out of that game, because that was really the technician's issue with not instructing her that the glasses were too big. But that's all I'm going to say about that. So many fun ideas. I was watching Beth looking back through some. I got there late, but I said, I'm going to stop in on Beth. And she was showing her ATCs. I know that's mine because I carved that mushroom. I love this. I don't know who did that, the happy knitting, but they made knitting needles out of toothpicks. And they have beads attached at the bottoms. So I wonder who did that. I'm always afraid of showing somebody's. They're in there good. I'm not going to get it out. But that's cool. It's actual. They're very dimensional. That's why I can't get them out. And this is a Christmas tree that they've actually used moss to create the trees. This is a cool tag that's like a dress form. I don't want to pull it up because then I'll expose the back of that. I think this is a paper clip that came with this ATC. So many pretty cards over the years. This is several years worth. Oh, I remember doing those and those. I think those were all mine there. But we've done all sorts of ATCs. We got Halloween and Christmas. So many fun things. We use wooden cutouts. That's something else I need to use up is wooden pieces. I have so many wooden pieces. We have Easter bunnies. This one was actually one of the where you loaded pockets, because it's got this ribbon on it. So it actually came. So you're supposed to use the things that are in the pockets. So like there's these are all loose in here, and I could pull them out. And then this has just got blank paper in there. So apparently I used what was here. And this is like a cluster. See how it's loose in there? This was a pocket letter. That's what these are, pocket letters. So there are pocket letters in here. Like those bunnies, I could use those bunnies. Those come out. And then these are like little clusters. You could pull them individually out. That's got a bunch of glitter. Not glitter. What do they call that stuff? You know, where you can, well, table scatter or confetti. So yeah, this has got all kinds of fun stuff that you can pull out and use. This was a pocket letter too. And then this, okay, this is got, well, these were all, apparently I made most of these. That's by Kathy Whitney right there. And then these were all done by me when we were in Greenville. Interesting. I don't think I've got anything. And then this is where I started keeping some postcards too. So there's postcards in here too. And see, I have these little narrow pockets where I could stick some tags if I got a tag in a swap. These were little pieces of art that we were doing together. That's a harvest moon, fall fox, reflections. I think these were actually part of some form of art along type thing. Shadow box project with Mary. Oh, these were, okay, these were going to be part of a shadow box. I drew that little mouse. Isn't it cute? So these were a shadow box project we were going to do with Mary. And this was a swap, and one of these was mine, which I think this one was mine, and this one was made by, oh, I think she's in Greece. Sylvia D made that. So she and I swapped mermaid ATCs. So yeah, these were part of a project Mary was going to do. And I don't know why mine ended up in a book instead of a shadow box. But Mary was doing these little pictures. What did I say when we were doing that? Was that 2019 as well? Let me peek. Isn't it fun to look back at the old binders? September of 2019 is when we were doing these with Mary. So if you go over to the Mary LTA's channel and look for September 2019, you'll probably see where she was doing those. I might go back and see if I can find it and see if she finished hers. We're all really great about starting these and then never finishing them. Sharon Lombard sent me this gnome holding a kitty cat. That cat looks just like Tippy. Isn't that funny? And then these were some of the postcards and things. I think I did that with Janet Nash. And the reason I like the 3.5 by 5 is I can get 2 in a 5 by 7 area. And these were part of our gingerbread house swap, which I have some of these in with my Christmas decorations, and then some are in here. Uh-oh, that one's not inside all of the jibber jabbers. Let's see if I can get that back in there. That might be why it's being ill-tempered. So these are more postcards. That's a Mary postcard, I think. I know that's Mary's. This one's got lots of texture. So the postcards are as fun to look at as the ATCs. I think these two were done by me because I remember we did the owls together. This was a prompt game that got really heavy on layers. So I can about guarantee I did that with Janet Nash, because you just never know what Janet is going to tell you to do in a prompt game. You just don't. And when I do the postcards, like we did postcards on Monday, these were the ones I finished. I'm sending one to Janet Nash and one to Janet USA because they both participated. But if you didn't participate on Monday, but you have postcards that you've made that you would like to swap with me, please let me know. I have 6 left here that I could swap. This one I'm keeping because I messed the back up. And what I do is I write, I created 9 postcards, 1 for me and 8 to share or swap. And then I write down who I'm sending them to so that I can look back and I can know who I could possibly have a card from that we swapped for, vice versa. That one was fun to do. Let's see. I've got more room here. Now this was another one of the pockets where you can share stuff. So this has got all kinds of Halloween stuff in it that I could use on another project. It's a loaded pocket. So everything that's on this back side, I can take and use in a project or an album or whatever. Same here. There's stickers and twine and washi. I don't know if anybody'd be interested in doing loaded pockets again, where you load the pockets up with little bits and then you mail it. This is like my favorite way to do a pocket letter is you take a big 12 by 12 piece of paper and then just cut it in 2.5-inch strips and then cut it at 3.5 the other way so that it will fit in your pocket. So it forms a picture across all of it. And then you can just load the back up with all the goodies. Like somebody crocheted a little hat with flowers. This was made by Seriously Scrapping, which I don't know if they're still around or not, but there's all kinds of things in there. This was a bookmark by Danny. And then this is just some stuff I bet fell out of an envelope here because these all look Halloween-y. They probably fell out. And then this feather was made by Deb Sutcliffe, which I thought was a cool feather. And this was an artist that a friend of mine, we went to the open studios that was happening in the Columbia area, and these robots were in an old building, And I just thought they were so cool. And it was like he had one whole floor that he'd set these up, and it was like walking through a Borg ship. It was kind of terrifying because there was all these lit up robots like right next to you, and it was real quiet. And as you walked, it would sound like boom, 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 boom. It, kind of freaky. And then I love this artist work here where they incorporated all of this rusted metal with I think it was with clay. He's a clay sculpturist, and they twisted the rusted metal around it. And they were in his studios in the arcade building. I don't know if he's still in there or not. The arcade building in Columbia is like the first mall in America, is what they tout, if I remember right. Sometime maybe Scott and I can go down and walk through the arcade, and I'll do a short video in there. If you guys would be interested in seeing the arcade, it's really a beautiful old building. It has, it's multi-story, and you can see all the way up through the center. You can see all the floors, and there's like a railing goes around, and there's a cherub on each of the pillars all the way up. So it's a beautiful building. Maybe one Saturday, Scott and I will go downtown. We have to find somewhere expensive to park and walk around. Of course, we can't walk around too much because Scott's been in so much pain. But anyway, there you go. That's my artist trading cards. So let me see how dry we are on here. I still see a little bit of shiny. And I just have a Zig Rider out here. Although, you know what? A gel pen. Let me get a glazed pen because they leave a line that's kind of raised up. Let's see here. Now, the glazed pens, you have to go slow. Don't put a lot of pressure on them. And it's not like a regular pen where you put pressure. You have to think about it as the ink, the glaze bit of it, has to flow freely from it. It's not like you're putting pressure and drawing the ink down. That feels dry. So I might just do like that. It's leaving too big a line. I think it's got a booger on it. Let me wipe it off. And then maybe we'll just go around the edge. Like so. And the glaze pen is making really fat lines. So it might be something I just switch back and forth. Sorry about that. I'm going to switch back to that other pen because I feel like this is just putting too much ink down. And it'll be all right. Okay. You're making a dump run. I get it. I get it. This actually looks like it has a heart right there. And if you're like us, you got to strike when the iron's hot and you feel like dealing with it. Yeah, I think the glaze pen, and then the glaze pen, you can't get near it until it's totally dry. I'm just kind of going around the edge on some of these. And if I don't, doodle them all the way on here, I can always doodle them more when they're cut out and made into stickers. This one, I think I'll go around this inner edge here. And if you didn't want to use like a marker pen, you could just use a big pen. Oh, let me tell you something else that happened when we went into Ollie's yesterday. Y'all know we don't have any grandchildren, right? So we walk in, and this little girl had just gone in with her parents, and she was so excited, and she was running right towards something. And I don't know what came over Scott, but he said, "What do you want?" And she said, "I just want this." And so Scott asked her parents, he said, "Do you mind if I just buy that for her? Because we don't have any grandchildren, and I just feel like spoiling her." So her parents let her get in line, and Scott paid for the stuff, and then he walked her back to her parents. And I'm like, man, they're trusting. I wouldn't have let Greg out of my sight to go with some strange man to buy stuff. But Scott said, "We're just going to go pay for these, and then I'll go join my wife." She just went that way. "But if you don't mind, I'd like to spoil your little girl." So he bought her some kind of little $5 children's makeup set or something. I don't know. Her parents looked really young, like maybe teenagers. But she just lit right up. And then we saw her a little bit. She was just swinging her bag that Scott had bought her this stuff. She was just swinging her bag. And then the next thing, I'm like walking around by myself wondering, where on earth has Scott gone? And finally I find him, and he'd made a friend, and they were just standing there talking. And yeah, it was interesting. An interesting evening to Ollie's. That one's still wet. Oopsie. Let's see. Is anybody else dry on here that I can do? But all I'm going to do is just do a little bit of doodling. And like I said, I can always add more later. Scott kept telling me it was only $5. It was only $5. I was like, don't worry about it. It brought joy to your heart and hers. So don't worry about it. But we had a good time. Then we bought moon pies and we ate them, and Then we had bad stomachs all night. So sugar is really, we should just, when we start feeling a craving come on, just say no. I guess I should check my phone and see who's woohooing me. See if it's something I need to pay attention to. I found a new to me channel that I shared in my in the Monday Stitch group. She's a knitter. Let's see. Spoonflower would like me to buy their expensive wallpaper. All right. There's that. So let's put one more circle there. And these will end up being just really cute little watercolor flowers. This pen is just acting all dried out. What is it, Callie? Am I bothering you? Let's try a tiny little Sharpie and see if that writes a little better. I think some of my problem is the watercolors aren't totally dry. I should probably have done this, another time and then set it aside to dry. And let's see. Try not to get in that blooming glaze pen. Feels like there's a cut in my finger. Now, if you wanted to do these, with more sketchy lines, like with a ballpoint pen, like a Bic, you could. That would be fine too. So all I'm going to do is just doodle away on these. And then I will scan them and print them on the sticker paper. And then we might do some ATCs. Just use painty paper backgrounds and add the flowers. We could do that. Put a dot in the middle of this one. Because just think about it. I could mix these up and put different colors together. I could put all the ones that are similar together. That dish dancing in the dishwasher's lulling me to sleep. See, tomorrow is Thursday. My grandmother would say all day. All day it's Thursday. And when you add these to your ATC, you can expand on your doodles. You know, give them more detail, more spots, more lines, all that kind of stuff. That one ended up looking like a rose. So if I printed off multiple sheets on sticker paper, I could put like 3 roses together or 3 of something else together. I think I'm just going to outline the areas of different color and stuff. And then when I go to use them, I might do additional doodling inside the flowers, so I get more use out of them. And I could even thought went right out my brain. Use white pen is what I was thinking to add some more dimension. Somebody must be walking on the street behind us because that big old dog is barking again. Oh, let me look at the time. 2:39. Okay. I'm probably going to need to wrap it up. Devin Yolande will be on shortly. And I don't want to run into her time. And I'm just going to sit here and play and doodle with these a while longer. And then another day, I will have made these into stickers. And I'll probably give some sheets of them away and do that again. So I've got to get, let's see, I need Mama Juju's address and I need Marisha. I have everybody else's address. All right. So they might not look like much now, but when I put them on an artist trading card, they'll be really cute. And I'll have to cut all these little guys out once I get them put on sticker paper. And then I just keep this in case I want to make more. I have a folder of things I've made for making your own embellishments. And yeah. So I'm just going to do that. I think what I'm going to do is just outline the different areas, like around the blue and then around the orange, just to denote the separation. And then when I go to make the ATCs, I will add more to them. So I will let you guys go, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for hanging with me. See you later, guys. Bye.